and then let's jam out. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, Johnny, I'm on voice only. Say something, and then we can show Floki. This is his dog.
What's up, guys? See little Floki back there? Hey, Bubba. Hey,
Come say hi. Ah, he's the
that's a
best,
little
man. He's
spotty.
such
It's
a
feeling.
sweet, gentle dog, man. And fun and fast and playful. I love him. I love Floki. Right. Floki got his 10 seconds of fame now. He'll be viral. Um now how did you want to start this uncensored version? We
That's
got Johnny back, guys. Welcome back to Level Headed Podcast. No.
it.
But yeah, how do you want to start? What do you want to do? We're not on YouTube, so what we got?
Let's talk about the. Well, hey, it's fucking Pride Month. Let's talk about the trannies.
Oh yeah, especially how again we're in Cali, guys. So as beautiful as the weather and the scenery, we could all imagine that those can imagine not living here, how bad the rainbow shit is out here. What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10, California rainbow pushing scale?
Well, luckily where I live, it's not as bad.
Yeah, you are in the Texas of Cali, in a
Yeah,
sense. Yeah,
Orange
Orange
County
County.
is a red county, pretty conservative, so it's not that bad. But once you start going, once you drive 20 minutes towards LA, you're
Whole nother story.
yeah, whole nother story there. It's pretty bad over there.
I'm not sure you stop in Target often in general, but if you did, you think you'd see it in Orange County? Because I know it's all over LA, and I won't even go to take a shit anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Target since that whole thing happened. But I would assume that
Yeah, I would
it's
assume just because it's California.
right. Very progressive state, liberal. Um, so yeah, they came out with this Target's newest partnership with a
Pride is it called?
Pride satanic
Yep.
brand for children,
Yep.
where all the clothes are, well, all the boys' clothes have rainbows and basically traditionally girl stuff on the boys' clothes, and they're very feminine cuts too. Like the clothing are very, like the sleeves are cut very feminine. They're very feminine fitting, feminine colors. So again, with the demasculation, they want to destroy the masculinity. That's how they take over.
Yep. Well, yeah,
Destroy the
you got
mass.
nothing but betas walking around. It's over.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you think when you take over, when you first get to a new city and you want to take over, when you first get to a new land and you want to take over, what would be the best thing to do? Probably take out the strongest males, right? So once you take out the strong males, the strong alpha males, then everything else is a cakewalk.
Yeah, and then what they're really doing, in a sense, too, is setting the tone for the future of males, the future of, I mean, the 10-year-old boy right now, the 12-year-old boy, even the 16-year-old boy, they're trying to fuck them up. So the people like me and you, Johnny, and probably many alpha males listening, especially on Rockfin with the MMA following, um, the, we're still here, but it's the children, right? In my opinion,
Right.
because you know this 12-year-old's confused on his body due to the books and the readings and the school and
And
the
the
programs.
vaccines. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's it. I mean, then by the time he's 21, he's who knows what he's doing. I mean, I don't even want to speculate and make shit up, but it's like
Yeah.
you don't want those people trying to run businesses and I mean they're going to be ran over, and that's just the point of it. It's not about bashing. It's like look, trans people,
Do what you want to do.
whatever,
I don't give a
behind
shit
closed
what you
doors.
do,
Yeah,
but do not push it on the children.
yeah, yeah,
You
and
take
that's
that
where
shit somewhere else.
and to me, the school board, anyone in charge, superintendents, They need to be physically removed now, guys. And this is
Physically
not, yeah,
removed.
this isn't like, hey, this is a public threat. No, no, no. It's time, because the talking, I see it all the time. All the time I see, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever, Rumble, the people, parents going to the schools yelling. Did it
It
work? Is
doesn't
this,
do anything. None of that
it's
shit does anything. You go in there, you get your 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is. They listen to you and then they tell you your time is up and they shake you off and that's it. It doesn't do anything because you're talking to the people that are the problem.
Mhm.
So it's time now. What I think we just need to go in there and physically remove these people, put them under citizens arrest
Yep. And
and
you could come
remove them.
100 deep and accomplish that, Johnny. And you could go into the into the school library and pull all that shit out and just do whatever the fuck you want. Because what are they going to do? Change it back? You just come the next day and with a bigger crowd.
Yeah,
What will they do?
yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen because this whole trying to talk to them doesn't work. So we need to find another way, right?
Yeah. And it's not really even promoting violence. No, I'm not telling anybody to
No,
go with a bat and start clubbing.
no, that's
As
not what
much
we're
as I
doing at
would
all.
watch that probably and it'd be viral, I don't want to condemn violence towards anybody, but it's more the point of physically removing. You could do that nicely if you want. If they don't listen, well, you get physical if you
Yeah,
have to.
there's something called citizens arrest that
Yep.
you can go in there and put them under citizens arrest for soliciting porn to children. I mean, whatever the fuck, because that's exactly what they're doing. So you go in there, you arrest them, you remove them, and you replace them with or you replace them with people from the community, or you put in a different system in place.
Yeah, different system for the school board, something where the whoever's in charge of that outside of the school would obviously have to be involved. But once the parents show up or once a community shows up and makes physical change and demands, they have to abide by that at that point.
Right.
They
And
can't.
it's
Yeah, go
not
ahead.
going to work with just one person either.
Yep.
Just one guy goes in there and try to do, it's not going to work. You need the whole community backing it.
And it's really as simple as much as Facebook would make it hard to set up groups like that or, events to go do that and attend. There's got to be other apps or so. I don't have time or even really know stuff like that, but I'm sure that there is other apps to make groups or like even a Telegram. You could just, there you go. I just kind of asked my own question. You have a
Right.
Telegram group with all the parents in the community, all the schools, and set something up and all go in together at fucking noon. I don't give a fuck at the middle of noon and just walk in and do what you want. It's your school, it's your children, your community, and
Yeah.
these people work for you in a sense. So it's time to hold them responsible. I respect the city council meetings and all that people do. Without those, there'd be no pressure, there'd be no drawbacks, even remotely close to even anyone being hesitant. Because I'm sure there's some schools that they pull the plug on it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they do. It depends on the area, but you know, in metropolitan areas, it's going to be the
If you
hardest.
guys know of a situation where that's happened, please let us know in the
Yeah,
comments because
yeah,
that would be nice to know of.
that would be nice. Or if someone's putting something together, the way like Austin Witz is putting
Right.
together the NASA audits that he's actually doing and signing people up, the real NASA audits that Austin's doing. Like people can do this just for their school board and get signatures. There's different legal ways to go about this.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a bat to the head. But you know what? If that's how it ends, that's how it ends. I mean, that's unfortunate that it would have to end that way.
Yeah.
But your local community, you can get all the parents in your community, or even more than half that are against this shit. Probably most, I would assume, to sign something. Those motherfuckers are out of the building, dude. I mean,
Right.
legally, and then you can go physically remove them, like Johnny said, citizens arrest and make the change. It's we might not be able to control the federal government and White House and the secret ops and the the CIA and the FBI and the BlackRock and Vanguard and all the shit we want to control, but you can control your fucking school, guys, and you should be able to control your police stations and held them responsible for fucking the shit up too. There's so many options that we have when the people remember that they're powerful and they have a voice. So,
Right.
um, but switching gears, you know, there's a lot of shit going on right now in New York. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, I've heard. So there's reports of the sky being orange. It's
Yeah,
pretty spectacular.
apparently they're saying that it's from they're just out of nowhere. They're like, oh, by the way, Canada has wildfires and like that's pouring over to New York sky. No worries, just go about your day. And people are out there like freaking out, like, no, this isn't just some wildfire sky. There's something actually going on,
That's so
unfortunately.
weird.
Yeah, I mean, people are taking. I mean, look at TikTok, especially. It's like the sun is that looks nothing like the sun. I don't know what's going on with that. It's probably obviously we all know it's a small local sun, so if they're spraying some crazy chemicals in the sky, yeah, it'll definitely. I mean, I don't know what's going on, man. You know,
They're getting ready for blue beam.
yeah, I don't know, or if they're just trying to poison them. They're trying to do something. I see people walking around with those real you know, the actual mask if there's a real something going on, right? Like we'd wear them if there
Really?
was something sprayed, right? Like they're wearing those with the things. I think it was Lord Jamar actually who had it on. That actually is not a laughing matter. Sorry, but it's you know to see him with a mask on in general is kind of funny. But it's a mask. He was like saying like I'm not taking any fucking chances, man. This is New York, and this shit does not look normal. So I don't know what they're gonna do, or how they're gonna. I would just get the fuck out for a while if you can. Just take a flight somewhere and sit tight. I don't know, but
Come to
it
Texas
yeah right.
this
It's
weekend.
always a good meeting ground, good stomping ground. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if you knew anything about it. I don't know much about it. This is brand new, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not wildfires in Canada. That's for sure.
No, whatever we know whatever they're saying is probably not the truth. So
Yeah.
you just take whatever they say and just do the opposite.
Yep. Well, I remember not too long ago they were making these like I don't know if you call them commercials, like infomercials type of thing, where they were like warning New York, like if there's something that happens, and you know, seek shelter and run for cover. Like they were making these videos. It was like I don't know. I would say within a year ago, if not less. I don't know if you ever seen any of those, but who knows, man? You know I always thought that California was so bad with all this shit, and in terms of like actually being fucked as a human being living in a state. I think New York's still the scummiest of the scum, um, in terms of how they handle everything and how it's like
Yeah.
they kind of seem like guinea pigs more than not, right?
Yeah.
Um, but no, I mean California just has this huge issue and huge problems with the trans and the rainbow shit. It's everywhere, man. It's in
Yeah.
SoCal especially. Um, I don't
They're
know.
they're forcing it down the throats of the kids and everybody else. And people don't want to fucking hear about it. But every single major company promotes it and adopts it. And they even changed their logos for the month of June. Um, and it's become something a laughing matter for the rest of the world. USA is just the gay country. Like
Yep.
Russia's laughing at us, China's laughing, everybody's laughing at us because we can't even, uh, we can't stop them from fucking turning our kids gay.
Yeah, it's an issue, man. As you always see trending all over the place, these Chinese kids packing guns and loading
Russia
up their
too,
clips. Yeah,
yeah,
Russia.
they
Yeah,
teach them how to use guns at a young age. Instead, we're over here, teaching the kids about fucking gay sex instead.
trans fucking body parts and transsexuals reading books to the kids once a week and having
Yeah,
grind. I don't. Where are these grinding shows and parties? Where are these even coming from, man? Like what the
it's
fuck?
probably like Portland or San Francisco or fucking some of those really fucking liberal areas, liberal cities. New York probably too. You know, But yeah,
I don't
it's
get it, man. How can you allow your children to go to school with this filth going on? How do you not show up and wreck house? But again, like you said, maybe it's because the towns they're doing this in, the areas they're doing this in, your Portlands, your San Franciscos, are, that's just how the community is, right? They're all fucked in the head in a sense, and they're all sipping the fluoride every day, and they just allow it to happen. I'm sorry, but if your children are in a school system that's allowing this, you need to be showing up every day, to the school to demand. I could only imagine, man. I would do whatever it takes to make sure if I could have 10 kids, none of them are going to be exposed to that. If you're letting your children be exposed to that, that sucks, man.
yeah,
In this day and age, you have to take control of your life and your children's life, um, or the government's going to do it for you. And
yeah.
that's
So they're raising a generation that is going to be so docile and so
easily ran
passive.
over.
Yeah. So they turn the men into women and turn the women into men, and then they flood the country with immigrants and turn everybody into a mongrelized society and take over.
That's really the only way to do it, because they know that they can't just come into this country and do shit. We're
No,
strapped.
they're
People
taking
are
us
strapped.
over from within. And I think when we say they, we know who we're talking about here. Just check the
Everybody does.
early life section.
Yeah, right. But again, when they're setting this up to weaken our country, it's only for the takeover, guys. There's no other reason. It's not just doing it for fun. They're doing it to weaken us, weaken our image, and just let it happen. That's why, for me, it's like the big metropolitan areas, especially the ones being flooded with all this stuff. I think those are the worst spots to live in right now, and possibly in the world, because of what their mission and agendas, the end result is going to be, whether they got to scare people in those areas with their 5G networks and their alien invasions and everything that they have in their back pocket. Because you're not going to pull off an alien invasion in butt fuck Tennessee, right? I mean, you're not going to be able. It's not the same result as lighting up over Hollywood, and the result it gets with sharing the videos and TikToks and CNN and everybody making it out of control. It's like they're not going to pick on these little areas. They're going to, and I think that's why the 5G is in metropolitan areas. It's the biggest grid is in America, and it's mostly mainly, if not all, metropolitan, bigger populated cities. You
Yeah.
won't find 5G again if you're driving for miles and miles. You're not going to find many 5G towers in rural areas. Is there a lot of 5G in Orange County? I do go out there sometimes, but I don't really pay much attention. You're out there all the time, and are they doing it out there, or is it not as much as LA? Obviously, that's a
Not
good
as much as LA, but yeah, you do see it. Yeah. The
that's
fake palm trees and shit.
Yeah, it's like, do they actually like? I saw one in Nevada once where it's like they opened up one of the cactuses and they put them in, and they actually put the cactus back over.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. But these ones are just like it's just like a big fake metal palm tree. Uh it looks like a fake palm tree, and then it just has the 5G around the top of it. So,
Wow. Well, you know what? I don't even think we've ever discussed this off air, but what's your thoughts on 5G, and do you think there's a connection to? Because now I'm beginning to think like, okay, they locked everybody down. Obviously,
right.
the forced vaccine is one road to lock everybody down and fear and all that. But I do feel like because of all the towers that were going up during the lockdowns, specifically, that there has to be some tie-in with either A, 5G and people feeling like shit those first couple months, or I just think that was all mental and anyways, or B, which is more I'm leaning towards now, it's like they really do, they have to have a 5G network to connect with the hologram system or something,
Right.
or it's all linked. Do you think there is a link there? What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I think the 5G network is um they're using it to control us, and they do it through frequency. Um, and also, I do think it's somehow links up with the Blue Beam Project. Um, they're going to use 5G in some way. It links up. I don't know the science behind it or what, but and I do also think the purple or blue street lights that they're putting in, they
Yeah,
actually,
those purple to blue looking. Yep, yep.
I think that has something to do possibly with the Blue Beam Project and 5G, but I think all that shit's linked though.
Yeah, I don't think any of it's random, guys. It's fucked up times, man. You know, but you still rather know. You still rather know, and the truth of it all keeps the fear at least down. I don't say
Right.
I don't say it could wipe it all away, but you know, being fearless is the best way, and information and knowledge is going to help you become fearless. Because at the end of the day, if you actually went outside and saw a fake hologram UFO and it looked, you know, 8 dimensions and it looked real, and you had no clue, you didn't even have a hint about hologram technology that they would do there, the government would do this to us. Like if you had no idea, and it, like, yeah, you could commit suicide over that, like legit, like you could jump in front of I mean, who knows what goes through the human body, and that it would be a high sense of fear,
You'd
right?
have another Independence Day scenario, which, why they come out with movies like that for predictive programming. They want us to, they play it out for us on screen before it happens. So when it does happen, that's how we react. And we've already seen it and we know how to act and we know what to do. Um, so that's eventually, when that Blue Beam Project, when they do unleash that, I'm not looking forward to it, but it's, who knows what could happen. We could have a whole nother we could have that whole scenario, Independence Day scenario, where there's, UFOs appearing all over the major cities in the world, and destruction and buildings falling and people going crazy and people, heading for the hills, and just pandemonium. um
Yeah, I think it's always in the back of our head that that could happen, and
it could happen. Yeah.
they do have the tools to pull that off.
Werner von Braun said that that was the final card. That that was the final card to play, was the Blue Beam Project, that UFO card. So I don't know, but it does help, talking about it and spreading the word and getting this out there, because when it does happen, if it does happen, we at least know what to expect, and that it's a show,
Well,
really.
it's better prepared
Yeah.
mentally, even spiritually prepared in a sense. That if they did pull something like that off, like, you know, you kind of already have a game plan in your head what you're going to do at that point. But there's still, no matter what, it's still a big difference of understanding the psyop at hand or thinking this shit's real. I mean, imagine the person, and there's going to be millions of them, guys. Let's be honest. The millions of people that are going to go outside to this construct and think it's 100% a, you know, 36 trillion light year away invasion coming down. um
Yeah.
I mean, you could only, I'm just saying, like, I can't even imagine, like, it'd be like 7 tornadoes coming at me, probably, type of fear. I just fucking, I hate tornadoes, but it's like a 7 at once, F5s heading my way would probably be an equivalent feeling of that person, that sci-fi loving guy or girl that is all in and just their heart drops. It'd be chaos, as we know, Johnny. I mean, it's good to be on the side of truth where at least mentally we won't be suicidal or freak out or do anything of that frequency where we could try to rise above it and figure out something at that point. But again, I think moving away from big cities eventually should be everybody's short term to medium term, in some sense, goal if they can, of course.
Yeah.
At least,
Get out of the cities.
the big cities specifically, get away, because they're not, again, I could be wrong, but they're not gonna, in my opinion, I don't know about you, Johnny, but they're not gonna just do all this shit to like some small city in Arkansas or something. It's like, it's like that no one cares about, no one knows about, no popularity traction behind it. It's like maybe for
Right.
testing, maybe, but it's like if they want to do this giant thing, like you said, Von Braun said that, it's the final card. Final card's not starting in buttfuck Tennessee. So they're going to be New York and Cali and all the big areas, Detroit,
Right.
Chicago, who knows?
Well, it
Uh,
seems like with the last two major um world events, uh so you have 9/11, which they which we all know was a false flag
right.
created by them. And then you have um, the pandemic. So they figured out how to make buildings fall and make it look like something else.
Yeah,
And then they also figured out how to lock the entire world down.
that's a
So
good point.
it seems like they were running tests, beta testing for Blue
The final
Beam.
card. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it makes sense. I never heard that, Johnny, honestly. It's a good way to put it. And it resonates as something that they would do. And because you guys got to understand that there's no quick turnaround time with any cards, right? Anything that they're rolling out. It's
Right.
they'll take 75 years starting today to do something to accomplish it. They don't give a fuck. They got bloodlines, they got weird shit they do that it's all guaranteed in writing. It's all going to be transcribed. Your ideas are going to be, preceded for our major plans. So they'll take their time. I just hope it's not in our lifetime. It's just the way it looks, obviously, Johnny, with the technology, the soft disclosure.
Right.
Feels like it's coming, but at the same time, hopefully, people like us and the ones awakened, because the awakened souls are waking up fast and in a rapid rate, sorry. And there is no comparison, guys, to the people waking up in the world versus the people going, oh, you know what, 9/11 was guys with box cutters. They don't go back. No one's going back. There is no new path of people going back to deception. It's
Right.
the truth can only set everybody free. And it's very possible, I might be a dreamer, Johnny, but it's very possible that the truth setting the world free and the ripple effect that has started in 2014, in my opinion, that is skyrocketing now. Um,
Could very
the
well change the timeline.
Yeah, could change the timeline. Could at least delay it. Could who knows? Who knows is the
Yeah.
point. But again, the more we talk, the more we tell our neighbors, no matter how crazy the neighbors think you are, it doesn't, you got to tell, you plant those seeds, put them in their subconscious. Be called crazy all you want, but at least you planted a seed in someone's brain for the day if it ever happens. But um you know that's a great point. I can't get over that you said, because now that's all I'm gonna be thinking about now is that
Yeah.
they fucking, it's like, it's so true though, the two operations.
The two major world events, in the
Yep.
last 20 years seems like the puzzle pieces to their Blue Beam project. They were
Yeah.
just doing beta testing, like they they're figuring it out, getting it all ready. So
And think
who
about it,
knows?
man. Look at how long ago 9/11 was, Johnny,
I
and
know.
what has actually surfaced. You know how many millions of people, I'll even just pick on America, millions of Americans know that that day was a sham of all shams,
Yeah.
that our government did that. We're still here talking about, no, nothing has changed. Nothing has come from that in terms of the truth is out there. What has changed with this truth? How many years has gone by? And this is their consent to them.
Right.
This is full consent. To like, dude, we got away with it. Yeah, people know. A lot of
But
people know, but
nobody's done anything about it. Yeah.
no one's done anything. So you think that's going to stop them? We can have films, movies, shows all day, all night on 9/11 or anything else, but until there's force involved, there's something happening bigger than you can ever imagine. And aren't you? I'm surprised, Johnny. I don't know if you are, that there's nobody that's even attempted to blow up Bill Gates's house or Fauci or any of the, they're puppets. I know they're just
Right.
they're middlemen, but it's just the point. Nobody.
I know. It's shocking. It's really shocking.
Not even an
I'm
attempt.
surprised you don't see more veterans, disgruntled veterans, um, getting angry and doing shit like that because um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
You think
it's
it's
the
gonna?
type of shit you see in movies.
Yeah,
But
but do you think it's gonna get to a point where someone's going to?
I mean, that would be, that would be the type of thing that could change things. If
Yeah.
something like that were to happen, that could change things and push for change. But and
I hope it doesn't have to get to that. Obviously, I hope it's just consciousness or the power of the people and humanity. But
raising the vibration and fucking raising your vibration and fucking raising the vibration of this plane that we're on.
yeah, I think it goes a long way. I think it's more powerful than we even can fathom. But um, in a sense, we're living proof of that through COVID. I mean, Johnny, 2 years ago when they were pushing for vaccine passports, no more traveling without a vaccination, right?
Right.
Not even locally, just especially, preferably, I'm speaking internationally. Leaving the country, you got to be vaccinated, and they tried that for a while. 2 years ago, if I said, "Dude, no way they're gonna get away with this. There's no way they're going to have vaccine passports." Like, you might have, or I'm not picking on you specifically, but people in general would have probably taught me out of it. Like, no, dude, like their foot is on the pedal. Like,
Right.
vaccine passports are seems like a few days away only. And it never happened. So, I don't know what
Yeah,
led to
it
that.
makes me wonder why they pulled the plug on that whole thing because they were getting it done. You
It was a
know?
done deal.
Yeah.
Damn near. Fuck, man. So,
Maybe they hit their number. Maybe they got enough people vaccinated, enough people got the jab to do what they needed to do, and maybe they hit
possible.
their number. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one angle that I've thought of, and I agree, is the very realistic angle. But there's always that little angle in my subconscious that says, are there people or maybe something spiritual, something that stopped it? Consciousness. I can't rely on people at all, really, in terms
Right.
of like good. All these good people are coming together behind the scenes, and they're there to stop these things, and mainstream's never going to tell us what's really happening. So how can we know unless they come forward, right? These good people, where are they to make their video saying, look what we just did for the world? Or is that a part of their strategy to not be seen? I don't know. I'm a hopeful person. Maybe I think there's always good people involved with anything. There's got to be good hearts,
Yeah.
even in government, as weird as that sounds. There just has to be, in a weird way, like there has to be. But
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
There's
Is
good
that
people.
possible?
Yeah, there's people out there. They're um even higher dimensional beings and um people uh, that have power that are working for the side of humanity out there. It's not just evil, you know.
Yep.
You have both sides. It's a war. There's a war going on right now. So
Yeah, I talk about that a lot on the show, and a lot of my guests agree that it's very possible it's two different types of demons here in terms of the spiritual war of things. Two different types of demons, whether it be they call them Luciferians versus Moloch. I always fuck the name up, but
Moloch.
yes. So like two different types of demons. One's more no rules, children, take them all, eat them, drink them, whatever. All, I mean, the most extreme form
Right.
of demonism. And then you got the Luciferians, which, again, it's lesser of two evils, which is never
The,
good.
the
But
light bringer.
yeah, but again, they're not necessarily the ones in terms of demons. From what I've researched, they're not ones to harm children. They're not ones to even harm us, but they will. They will. There's no rule. There is no, we're not going to harm everyday people. They definitely will. It's not that it's not in their best interest to, but they will if anyone's in the way type of vibe of demon. It's not like, oh, that demon sounds cool. No, fuck them all. But I don't know. What's your thoughts on this demon war? Is that legit in your opinion, or is it really just them versus the peasants, and that's as far as
No,
it goes?
it's definitely legit. We're in a spiritual war, um, against principalities, against the rulers of this world, the rulers of darkness, and um, it's becoming more of a physical war now. I would say we are in a physical war. It's not just spiritual anymore. Um, and I do think, just to touch on what you were talking about with the Luciferian thing, I think the Q movement and that whole Q thing was Luciferian. Um, that's why their slogan was from dark to light. The
It's a great point.
Lucifer is the bringer of light. Um,
Never
so
thought of that.
yeah,
And a QAnon fan. I mean, I don't think any of my audience are QAnon fans, but if there is one, I'm not judging. Here's the thing. Now you got to really ask yourself at that point, am I pro QAnon anymore? I mean, and again, remember when I was explaining the lesser of two evils of the demons and what they're about? So yeah, you could point to the Luciferian demon war and be like, well, there, of course, I'd rather be with them. They don't harm children. Like, why not? Like, no, 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 no. We need to get all the demons out, all the demons away to have humanity take over heaven on earth again. You can't have demons controlling anything. We don't need them. We don't need anything. Um,
right. Um, I mean, from what I understand, there are thousands of children being rescued from the underground bases. That is a real thing.
yeah,
It's not just fake QAnon stuff. Um, I just think QAnon adopted that into their whole thing.
strategy. Yeah.
But I do believe, and I've seen plenty of evidence to the fact that there are thousands of children being rescued from underground tunnels. They're clearing these dumbs out, deep underground military bases, and saving children all over the world. Um, I would love to see more of that, and I would love for more of that stuff to become, more uh,
Reality.
videos and stuff to see, but it's a very hidden thing. Like it's very hard to find proof of, and
Well, it must
but
be true then. It'd be a CNN headline if it was bullshit, because it's probably actually true, because there's actually probably good people behind the scenes trying to save children that they're not going to even bring it to the attention, because these are the demons that run the media,
right,
and we know what type of demons own the media.
yeah,
And you got this whole conglomerate of people that want to keep promoting trans agendas, vaccinations, pharmaceuticals, big pharma, um, outer space. I'm sorry, upper space. There is outer space, upper space bullshit. All of it's all this section. And maybe there are another types of demons in human form running their show selfishly. They should be eradicated too, in my opinion. but it's very possible that there's an actual demon war going on, and we're just peasants here for the show.
Well, yeah, the parasites are here.
That's what I mean. It's like, what can we do? Well, I think collectively we could beat all these demons. I don't
Yeah,
see why you don't think that. Like, not like how anyone couldn't think that. I don't understand it. But when I'll be nice, it's 70% of the human population, the non-demon human population, are under a trance.
right.
How can you say, how can you know, what can you do? And again, that might be going down to 60%, 50%. That's our job, that's our goal as anyone on a microphone or anyone trying to do anything in terms of truth. That's the goal, is to get that to, like to say half the world is awakened. Not yet, maybe not every rabbit hole, there's so many. And
Right.
I think flat earthers have to understand sometimes that this is a big rabbit hole, and not everybody's just going to jump down all the time. And the ones that don't jump in right away, it's oh, fuck them. It's like, no, they're still trying to save the fucking children's lives. So no, 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 fuck them. Okay, it's like there's different people out there that are doing stuff that maybe haven't went in the flat earth rabbit hole yet. There's just like, give them a chance, give them time. And like even someone like Stu Peters took him a long time, and now he gets it, and other people like him are going to get it.
What was his documentary? Stu Peters
Died suddenly. No, no,
died.
no. That was, yeah, that was Stu Peters, died suddenly. Correct.
That was a great documentary.
It
That was
was good. There was some controversy with it recently about some part of the film that they doctored. I don't know if you know about that.
no, I gotta read about
They
that.
pulled something from like some off-topic documentary. They basically took the footage of something being pulled out of someone, and they were explaining it like it was a COVID related thing, and maybe it wasn't. They were just showing you something else. I think I caught up with that, and that's bullshit. But at the same time,
But
I look at it as like,
the majority of what they were showing, I
oh
think,
yeah, if not all, was legit. So you'd look at, for me as an editor, I look at that as like a quick, it's like you're explaining something, right? You're explaining a situation and you can't find footage of them pulling something out, right? Of the COVID, of all the reports you read and data you read. So you show something similar, but they should have probably put visualization or something so people didn't think it was legit. So I don't know. I don't know what, audience listening, comment, what's your thoughts on that? I don't discredit Stu at all. I don't think he's a final editor, or he would know. Like, I think that's from something. How would you know that reviewing a film someone helped you produce? I don't know, but
right.
it could just be
Well,
the editor being lazy.
all that shit they were pulling out of those people's arteries and veins, all that white rubbery
Correct.
substance,
That's legit.
that's legit. And
Again,
that's
it could have just been dramatization, is my point. You know what I mean? Like dramatization, the
right.
show, but they should have put that. That's all. But either way, I'm not going to sit here and fuck, Stu, what the, like, no, no, no. Like, he's not the editor, nor would he kind of
Yeah.
know how to source that. Like, to me,
Obviously, it doesn't compare to Fluvid at all, though.
yeah, no, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. And I actually watched Pandemic 3. I actually watched some of it with Victoria first, but then I watched the whole thing at Eddie over at Eddie's gym recently. He had like a little viewing party. I went over there. It wasn't bad. Some of the parts dragged to me. I don't know if you saw Pandemic 3. It's
I have
not for me. Again, it's like I'm not going to learn that much new. A lot of it, but it was the good stuff was like China communism and shit. And like they were going over a lot of shit about China trying to come into this country and shit. So it wasn't just about, COVID shit. It was like
right,
COVID
right.
was like 20 minutes. And then it was a whole bunch of China communism, crazy shit. And then they went over dictators, Johnny,
Wow.
all these dictators of the past. And I won't say who they skipped, but they skipped someone. I don't know why, in terms of mainstream stuff, but or whatever you want to call it. But maybe it's not that mainstream after all. Maybe they were, who knows? But they were talking about who was the biggest dictator again of all time. Uh, 60 million or whatever. The
Oh,
story.
Stalin.
Yes. Yes. So a lot of it had to do with that and his kind of incorporating that type of feel into America now and all that, whatever it was. So there were some sections that were like, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not. But overall, it was a pretty good documentary, pretty long, but it was good. I would recommend seeing it, at least to learn. Maybe you'll learn something. I don't know. Um, it was edited well too, so props to the editor, whoever did that. But um, you know, yeah, it was all right. It was all right. Died Suddenly was good too. But see, in terms of Stu Peters films, the one I recommend the most for anybody is These Little Things, and that is a very low key. I don't know why it's so low key. Actually, I do, because of how banned the trafficking of children uh, is really. I mean, when you think about it, they ban Save the Children hashtag. You can't even hashtag that. You can't use it. So it's like they're against saving our children. I get that they're like, oh, we get it. Now that hashtag is to this Hollywood trafficking type of island vibe, so it's blocked. But no, but like in general, you can't even write save the children.
Yeah,
Um,
that's crazy.
so I do recommend that for sure. That film is great about the information in there is mind boggling. It's sad, of course. It's not like, oh, it's a great film. It's fucked up. But it's gives you the information, man, and it's sad what they're doing to the kids every day. But it's nice to hear out of your mouth, just as a refresher, that these kids are being saved too. We need to
Yeah,
understand that it's the shit's going. It's not like, I think a lot of times as truthers we don't realize that there's still good going on. I mean, there's so much evil, so much corruption, that we kind of pause any good. We just think of like, look at all the shit they're doing. Look at our kids. Look at the rainbows. Look at the trafficking. Look at all the bad stuff. You can go on forever, but there has to be good going on. And just hearing Johnny, what he said earlier about thousands of kids are being saved all the time, and that's progress, right? That's
yeah,
something.
absolutely.
Um, and I think, would you agree that the truthers in general, or truth seekers at least, again, not every rabbit hole has to be jumped in, guys, but I think truth seeking in general is huge. It's at an all-time high.
All time high.
Are you getting that at all in your shop, man? Like, I'm sure there's going to be the normal people, everyday people, but is that conversations? I have an appliance guy to come in today and check on something that was fucked up, and he ends up, we just start talking, and he's the truth. I mean, he's almost on the same level as me in terms of rabbit holes. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah,
everyday dude. Like, is that how you feel over there? Is that happening?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's getting to the point now where you can almost talk to anybody about flat Earth, and they don't laugh at it anymore.
Yep.
It's just back when I first got into flat Earth and learned about it back in 2015, 16. um, Dude, everybody thought I was crazy. Like, I couldn't talk to anybody, not my brother, not my fucking girlfriend, and not nobody. Like, nobody, everybody thought I was crazy. Um, but it's come such a long way since then, in the last 7 years, that it's becoming now, especially with TikTok and Instagram. um, it's becoming such a common subject, and people have seen videos on it, and it's not just like a laughing matter anymore.
It's
Like,
huge
people
again.
people are taking it seriously now.
And
Like,
well, you look at the TikTok search results. What is it? I could be off a digit, but like 3.4 billion flat Earth searches on TikTok, and
yeah,
people
that's
wonder why TikTok, they're trying to shut it down. It ain't. I don't know what people think they're trying to shut it down for, but when
because
you have 3.4 billion people searching for flat Earth, that's a fucking issue.
yeah,
So
that
yeah,
is
you're right. It's
that
big
is
again, and I'm glad that I have friends like you that can be a part of projects like Level with me and Level, and can get the message out in a way for the common folk. Like, again, my
right.
audience, in my opinion, my market is the ones that they know that something's up with COVID, right? They know something's
Right.
up with 9/11. Just those people. They're not gonna. Oh yeah. The government blew up. I mean, sent planes to a building. Okay, it's like that. Don't want those people should not watch my films. They're not gonna. They're gonna get triggered and probably like take it on their wife later. Like,
Those are the NPCs. Those are the people that we that we don't need to be wasting our time on.
And I used to spend, I'm sure you're the same, but I used to waste a lot of my energy on them,
Right.
those types of people, and they don't get it, and it backfires on you. It drains your energy. It fucks you up.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
get it. There's a huge disconnect, and you waste all your energy. That's why I don't even reply to troll comments. Nothing. I don't I don't waste my energy. If you're that dumb and you don't get it by now, we've been talking about this since 2014, 2015. You don't
Right.
get it by now. You're probably not going to get it, unfortunately, but at least COVID opened that door again in a sense
Right.
where people could be like, "Damn, the government just lied about all
Yeah.
this shit."
Yes. More than ever. I mean, the time is now. People are waking up now. Um, this has just become with all the different platforms. I mean, people are waking up to these things every day, and it's just crazy. Um,
Well, you got a crazy story, tattoo customer story about someone, I don't know, either a crazy story in general or something along these lines. You got anything top of your head where someone came in that talking about flat Earth or anything of that nature?
um, yeah, I've had people. I had actually a client just come in recently, and she saw a level with me,
Oh,
and
nice.
and she was trying to explain to me how she's like, your friend Eddie Bravo needs to learn what a noble gas is. And I'm just like, oh my God. She's like, helium floats because it's a noble gas, and water, gravity and water. And I'm just like, you're crazy.
Hey, man. And that makes me feel kind of cool because obviously the truthers that watch it, they either understand that already or they just learn something and they'll wake up. But the ones that are still in denial, it's funny that they still watch the film. It's like, hey, at least you watched. You
She's
can't.
watched all three of them, not
eh,
just level with me. She's watched all three.
So pure NPC then.
So she's a fan.
Oh, she's a fan.
No, she's not a
Yeah,
fan.
I know. So again, when you're a pure NPC, you can watch all the levels. You can watch everything. Do base done. It doesn't
And
matter.
never get it.
Santos.
And never get it.
Never. They'll never get it. I
She
can almost
tells
guarantee she's jabbed.
Yeah, yeah. And she tells me all of her stories about going to the um the NASA what is it? The NASA
The Space Kennedy Center?
Jacksonville or Orlando
Or no,
or where.
Orlando. Yeah, well, we crashed that in the film. I hope that it spoiled her little party.
Yeah. She told me, she said, why didn't you show the space suits? Why didn't you show the astronaut space suits?
Oh, that's in the building? You mean
The
the costumes?
progression of astronaut spacesuits in the building. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, that proves it's real. I
You can't help them.
know.
Can't. Okay. They're gonna walk a slow death on their own terms. They're already walking a slow death. It's sad though. I mean, I wish there was like a zap. I would zap every human. Trust me, I have a heart that way. But some people, there's nothing you can
It's
do.
like that movie Free Guy. I
I
don't know
never
if you've
seen.
seen it. What's the guy fucking from Deadpool? I forget his name.
What happened though? What was
He
the same?
plays an NPC in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So he plays an NPC. He's an NPC in a video game, which is just a character in the video game to make the video game possible. You're not the main player, you're not the main character, you're just a bank teller or whatever. And he wakes up and finds out that he's an NPC. And he
That
doesn't,
sounds interesting.
yeah. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but
Is it a Hollywood blockbuster type movie or like an
yeah,
independent more type movie? What kind of movie is it?
it's a Hollywood
Oh, I
block.
didn't know it was a blockbuster. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they always they'll put the
The
truth in
truth in
plain sight.
movies. Yeah, they put the truth in movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he wakes up and doesn't want to be an NPC anymore. So you'll see if you watch it, you'll see it's kind of cool. But yeah.
Okay. I might check that out. the truth to plate side happens all the time in Hollywood. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Um, but any before we go, anything anything you're working on, anything you want to talk, especially the Californians listening, anything going on at the shop, anything you want to promote?
I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm working on a project um, with a friend of mine who is pretty famous. She's in the music industry. Um, and we are going to possibly open up a studio, a tattoo studio in Malibu. Um,
Very
we might
nice.
even we might even do a YouTube channel and film everything because a lot of the people that she knows are famous. Um, so we'll see. That's
That's a big
It's
step
in the
for the
works.
business growth. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the works right now. So it's pretty exciting.
that is exciting, man. I hope that gets done smoothly, and you've been working your ass off for a long time. You know, and you got a good spot. It's not like you have a bad deal going on there. You're very successful where you are. You're doing well. You're the best in Orange County, but I
Thank
think
you, man.
it's
Thank you.
yeah, I think it's time that you branch off to do something else, take a new journey, and go from there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm branching off into a few different areas right now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's pretty exciting. Um,
That's good, man.
things are
I wish nothing.
big things are in the works.
Hell
Big
yeah.
things.
I wish nothing but the best. I look forward. We're actually catching a flight together on Friday.
Yeah. So I'll see you on Friday. I'll
Yeah,
see.
I'll see you over at great old LAX on Friday. And then, like, again, to the audience, we're going to the convention, Martin Leakey's convention. So that'll be good. By the next show, I'll have an update on how that went and what's going on with that. But yeah, Johnny will be there to help me out. And you know, he doesn't got to really help me in terms of filming if he doesn't want, but I'd rather have him enjoy the show. But it's
Well,
up to him.
out with whatever you need.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. Either way. But you know, I want to get some good footage for just to have a key to this film, just to kind of bring home some footage and have some sparks, you know, some
Yeah,
ideas.
I've been talking to you about this for a while, doing a project about the alternative history.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. And it's kind of informal. I mean, it's kind of obvious at the same time, but yeah, I want you to be a part of this project. Anything you want to do or say or be a part of along the way, or if you just want to, you could do the stuff at the convention, or we can also just go places, especially if you want to travel. You know, it's always nice to have a travel buddy. But you
Yeah,
know, in terms of in general, my budget's kind of like it gets tight at times, so it really just depends. I don't want to have a fundraiser for this. I don't. I'd rather just have Level with me pick up a new wave of rentals or support or something, and I could take any of that and put it towards this Tartaria, or I'm sorry, I don't want to call it that, but just Lost History Project. But you know, we'll see. We'll see with time what happens. But in general, overall, yeah, I want to go. I announced this on the last show, but I want to go to different spots where you guys are talking about, like, you
yeah,
know, whether it's Dr. Narco or John or Martin or you, Johnny, too. You got a lot of information, but these certain spots that we all see, whether it's Google Earth, whether it's an old video or whatever, if it's something like top three Tartarian castles in the States. I really don't want to leave the country. I just want to get this done quicker and get the footage in. I will if I have to, though. But my point is, if you could find the best spots in the States or within good traveling distance, at least, I want to go in person. I want to.
yeah. Boots on the ground is always the best. Um, Best for research. Best, you know. Um, there, there's a um, there's a new YouTube channel out now. It's it's a really dope channel. It's called the Arc. He's called the Archivist, the Archivist.
Okay. But yeah, I
And
think you've sent me stuff on him. Yeah, he is good.
it's a great new channel. He's been on Twitter for years, for 10 years. And what he does is he goes through all the records in every state of old newspaper records when they actually told the truth in newspapers.
Wow.
So back in the 1800s, all the way up to the early 1900s. And he just goes through and looks for anything crazy. And the stuff that he pulls out of these newspapers is just mind-boggling. Like things from everything from 150-foot dragon found in a cave in Colorado to um, a tropical paradise found in Alaska um, in the early 1900s.
Wow.
I mean, giants.
Well, if
Uh,
anyone knows who this channel is or the owner of it or contact info, just put in the comments so I'd like to read just like with Level. I tried to, at the time, the people I knew or knew of, I reached out to and I put together a film, right? That was my first one in terms of that. But with this project, I have more experience now in the film industry and understanding things and can only get better in my opinion. So I'm going to try to do that with this project too. And, um,
Dr. Narco Longo too.
yes, yes, that's it. So I reached out to him recently to be on the show, and he's gonna do the show. We just got to get it. We got to get it. Yeah, we got to get a day and time down and everything. He'd be another one. John, if he's available too. So, obviously Martin, I'll see in Houston either way. And he announced on his channel that he's gonna come aside to do an interview. I think I mentioned that to him, but I'm glad he even said it. So this means we'll have some time even because we'll be there through Sunday about evening, right? Evening ish. So maybe Sunday morning we can meet up with Martin where we don't got to really attack him with this the day of the convention. It could be, hey, next morning let's go get breakfast and let's go somewhere and do this interview to get
Right.
because I want basic 101. I
Yeah.
want again level. I understand that this is some advanced fucking shit, but so is flat Earth in a sense. So, but I need base. I need your neighbor to understand it. Is the point,
Yeah.
and that's
There's
the goal.
another
That's the
guy
goal.
too. There's another guy, David Ewing Jr.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard
He's
of him.
great.
Dave Weiss told me about him, and I think you mentioned him to me too.
Yeah, he goes strictly. I mean, he's been all over the world. And his research. This guy is just so knows everything. He's so smart and knows his memory. He just knows so much. And he's research. All his research is based off of Anatoly Fomenko. Um, and
Well,
he
that's what I
does a
mean. If we
great
can get his
job.
information, if we can get his
Yeah,
information, and we can reach out to these people somehow, Johnny,
right.
and get a sit down with them. Obviously, you're invited every time. Um, it's just this project in general. And
Yeah,
then
it's
we
gonna be
can,
a fun project, man. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, thanks. And again, whenever you're free, we can figure out the best spots in person, like
Boots
ca-
on the ground, yeah.
yeah, castles or melted bricks, whatever, however the story takes me, whatever the vision wherever it goes. I think this convention is a good spark, right? The convention is an actual good starting point. You bring home footage from this great convention. It's like, how do you not? I could probably just turn that into a film, but it's just the
Right.
point of like, hey, man, they're bringing up spots, especially in America. Um, it's like,
Yeah,
hey, man, Johnny, you want to go? Let's get on a plane. We can go to these spots and film these buildings in real time, real person, real life, and maybe meet up with a drone videographer locally in the area or something to tell them because I want drone shots. I don't know how to work drones really. I've never fucked with them, but can't be again. There you go with the budget. But either way, it's got to get done. And I
right.
think the people deserve to hear a 101 story on this so they can get, catch up. Now they can go back and watch, Longo's old stuff, Levy's old stuff, Martin's old stuff, everybody you mentioned, then they can go back and start learning the advanced information. But I hope,
Right.
yeah, I'm glad you're in this with me. I'm glad you're coming. So, it'll be fun, man. It'll be a good Saturday event and change of pace. Everybody needs something like this, and it keeps us right back in the topic of research and information. And I think this will set the tone for this project. So cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny, man. Thank you. I know you're a busy guy. You're always busy, and thanks for giving the
Anytime, man.
time. And
Anytime.
yeah, I
I
want to thank
appreciate
every.
you having me on. Yeah.
Yes, of course. I'll see you fucking in a couple days, my friend. And everybody watching, thanks for joining the Hibbler Effect.
Research flat